Choosing your Army branch is one of the biggest decisions you will make. So in today's video, we will be discussing choosing your branch in the Army. Now this is different for people who is in the reserve versus those who are active duty. So active duty at OCS, you will have to choose your branch. You will have to compete for your branch more so. Versus in the reserves, like me, I already had my branch coming in. I chose my branch at MEPS. Well, actually, I chose my branch a little bit before MEPS, but I solidified it at MEPS. So my recruiter asked me, you know, what branch I wanted to do. She went over all the branches with me, and we decided on quartermaster. And she asked me, was I sure? And I said yes. And when I got to MEPS, you know, that's when I solidified it by signing the contract, signing the paperwork. So I went into all my trainings already knowing my branch. Now, if you're active duty, regardless of what you're already doing as an enlisted, I'm not quite sure exactly how it works, but I think that you can either, depends on the OML, all those things, you can keep your current branch if it's available, or you have to fight for the branch. I know I saw a lot of them fight for the branch. They had to a lot of them had to compete for the branch. And that's based off the OML. You can also put a packet in too. I saw people put a packet in for the branch that they wanted. Like people who wanted signal, they put a packet in and they got their package approved. Now it's not guaranteed, however, but that is an option. So if you really want a specific branch, you want to make sure that you're on the top of the OML list that you possibly can get. So it can almost ensure that you get the branch that you want. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking more about, you know, what each branch entails and what it's like. Now, of course, I don't know what every branch is like. I just go off of, you know, what people, you know, word of mouth, people's experiences, what they told me about the branch, right? So when you're choosing a branch, you want to make sure that it aligns with your lifestyle. You also want to make sure, like, you know, does this branch deploy a lot? Is that something you would be okay with? You also want to look into the promotion, like, timelines of that branch. You also want to look at the physical demands. Does this branch require me to be, you know, high speed, like infantry, you know, infantry, something like that. You know, you got to be in shape. You got to probably have certain requirements physical wise. You know, you also want to make sure that you're talking to other people. Talk to other people that's doing, you know, I would say, like, choose a top 3, right? From the one you want the most to the one you want the least. Talk to people that's already in that branch or have experience in that branch, right? You want to pick their brain, ask them questions, ask them what their day-to-day life is like, you know, ask them everything necessary before choosing a branch, because once you choose a branch, you're pretty much, for the most part, stuck with that branch. So just checking my list here. Yeah, it says you don't want to pick a branch blindly. Just, oh, this sounds cool, let me pick that. Because like I said, you're going to be stuck with that branch. So you don't want to be stuck in something that you're going to be unhappy with later down the line. Also, I want to mention that when you're picking your branch, pick it based off of your interests, not your ego. I've seen people who say, oh, I want to do infantry because they think it's like hardcore and everything, and it's like, then they realize later, like, I shouldn't have did that. I should have picked this, or I should have picked that. So you don't want to have regrets when you pick your branch. Like, do your research, do your own research, and then ask other people as well who's already in that, you know, branch. You want to talk to your leadership. You want to talk to the cadre, you know. That is the best way, honestly. And just like I said, make sure it aligns with your personal interests, your personal goals. Do not pick any branch just because you think in your mind like it makes you look a certain way. Like, that's the wrong reason to pick a branch, honestly. However, something that I've learned while I was here at my unit is that they have they're not a branch per se, but there are other jobs or career fields that you can do in the Army while keeping your current branch, and one of those are a public affairs officer. I personally had put in a packet to be a public affairs officer because it aligned perfectly with my interests. So public affairs officer is a really cool job. It's not a branch per se, it's not an MOS, but it is a job, and that's something that you can focus on while keeping, like, for instance, I'm a quartermaster. I get to keep my quartermaster branch, but I don't have to work in the quartermaster field, if that makes sense. So I'll be considered a logistics officer, but I'm working as a public affairs. And they have a few other ones out there like that. So really do your research and talk to people, because it's a lot of hidden gems out here in the Army and the military in general that you may not even know about. So it's all about just doing your research, networking, talking to people, because you never know what opportunities you may run into. So definitely look into that. I know there's another one, I think it's called civil affairs. I'm not quite sure how that opportunity works, but you can Google it. You can ask people about it that's in that field. So I know those two. I'm pretty sure there may be more out there, but I just know of those two. So yeah, that's really all I have for this video. I know this is a really short video, but I just want to leave the video off with saying that pick for your future, not your ego. Pick something that you will enjoy 5 to 10 plus years from now, you know, for however long you're planning to be in the military. Pick something that you'll enjoy doing, something that you'll enjoy putting this uniform on and going to this job. That's how you want to pick your MOS. However, I just have to say that there's unfortunate circumstances for active duty and OCS who they don't get the desired branch that they want. And it's okay. I think that there's ways that you can possibly put in a packet later on. I'm not sure, and you know, see if you can get into another branch or swap another branches, but I do know that it's not easy, you know. But yeah, even if you get your second choice, even if you get your third choice, I think you will at least get one of your top 3. If you work really hard at OCS, you'll get at least somewhere in your top 3. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I said something that was helpful, and like always, I will see you guys in my next video.